Hi Club Ruby Designers, this is Cindy with the June Club Ruby Designers kit. Oh my gosh, the kit this month is awesome. It's a birthday kit, birthday paper kit. It has been so much fun to work with. So today what I'm going to be making is a birthday hat. So here's some paper from the June Club kit, and I'm using several cartridges. I'm using the cartridge Elmo's Party. And this is the birthday hat cut from Elmo's Party. I don't know if there's any other cartridges with the birthday hat on it. This is the only one that I had, and I like the cut. So I cut the birthday hat using the Fit to Page feature on the Cricut, and this is what it came out to look like. So one of the things that I noticed that we really have to do before we put this hat together is we kind of have to bend the paper in a round shape so that it goes together a little bit smoother. Otherwise the paper has a tendency to tear, and we don't want that. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and make a little phrase to go on the front of the birthday hat. And what I decided to use was the phrase from Sweet Treats. And it's hip hip hooray. And I've cut out the word and the shadow feature. And then this particular word has a layer, so I've cut that in red. And I do want to say, this is paper that's included with the June Club kit, and it's from Cutmates. And I have to say, really, I have never used paper that cuts so well as the Cutmates. So thanks, Megan, for including the Cutmates paper, and keep it coming. We love it. All right, so let's go ahead and put together our words. And I'm just going to use a glue pen here. Quickly put the glue on. Alright. And then we're just going to put that right over the shadow feature. Just like that. I'm going to add the little eye on top. Let's get my tweezers to do that. There we go. And then I'm cut out the word hip in the red paper, so we'll go ahead and layer that on top. Cover up the blue, and then add the eye, top of the eye. Okay, now, whoops, I'm going to let go. Alright, now that we have that done, I'm going to go ahead and add the hip hip hooray onto the hat. But I want to go ahead and use my adhesive tape to do this, so that it doesn't come off when I put the hat together. Make sure it's nice and sticky. Alright, so let's see. I think what I want to do is kind of like that. And I think when I fold it, then there we go. Okay, so let's make sure that's stuck on there really well. Now, like I said before, let's just kind of get that to in the rolling motion so it rolls. Now, one of the things I did discover in making this hat is it's got these little tab things. I found it was the best to fold the tabs in on each side, and then when you go to stick it in that slit, it goes in a lot better. So I'll go ahead and put that on, and you will have to hold the top there so that they slide together, and then on the inside I'll just open out those tabs, if you can see I don't know if you can see since it's red on red, but I've opened up the tabs. Now, one of the things that I'm going to go ahead and do, I want to put some Scotch tape inside there to hold the tabs in place so they don't come out. My luck, the child will be wearing my hat and it will come out. I have my Scotch tape goobered up on me. Go ahead and get another piece. There we go. Alright, so far this is what we have for our birthday hat. Cute so far, but we're going to make it way cuter. So what I'm going to do is I really like the little extra fluff on the bottom of these hats. So I figured out a way to make that. What I'm going to be using is some crepe paper. We all have seen crepe paper at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or a party store. So just buy a roll of crepe paper. It's pretty reasonably priced. Now I'm going to have this gathered around the hat. So the rule of thumb is usually 4 times. So I'm going to measure around the width of the hat, and then I'm going to double or make that 4 times as long. Does that make sense? So I have a piece that's 4 times the circumference of the hat. So that's how I'm going to cut my paper. Alright, so we're done with that. Alright, so now what we're going to do is I want to make this multiple layers. So I want to cut 4 layers of the same length out of my crepe paper. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 4 layers. Okay, so I have my 4 layers here. Now what I'm going to do is I have to put something in this so that I can gather this crepe paper. So I just took a piece of yarn and I'm going to lay it down the center of my crepe paper, and I'm going to loosely zigzag this on my sewing machine so it will be attached to the center of the crepe paper. So I'm going to go do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've sewn the yarn down the center of the crepe paper. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if you notice I've got a pretty wide and long stitch here so that it doesn't catch the yarn and it's pretty loosely done. So now here's the fun part. We are going to use these really cool Martha Stewart fringe scissors. So I purchased these a while back and I love how this works for this technique. So basically all we're going to do is, using the fringe scissors, we're just going to cut up to that stitch line. Make sure you don't cut the stitches. And we're just going to go down on both sides and fringe this crepe paper. Pretty simple so far, right? Okay, so now that I've fringed both sides, I'm going to take the center piece of yarn and just carefully start to gather the crepe paper. And just kind of carefully gather it along. And I did go ahead and gather the other side already, so I like to gather each side and meet in the middle. It makes it a little easier than doing one end all the way down. So basically we're just going to gather this till we get it nice and tight and fluffy. And then what we're going to do is bend. So I bend it on the side that doesn't have the yarn. So I'm just going to start bending the 2 pieces together, leaving a ridge on the back side where that yarn is. See that? That way on the front it's made this really cute fringy side, and it'll make it a little bit easier to glue onto the hat. So I'm going to go ahead and bend that all the way down. Okay, now that we have it bent all the way down, we're just kind of fluff that up a little bit. And then I'm going to set that aside for a moment, because before I put that onto my hat, I want to go ahead and put the 2 little holes and eyelets on the hat that is going to hold that around the child's neck. So in order to do that, I will use my Big Bite, and let's see, I'm going to mark where I want the holes to be Alright, so if I'm looking at this, I'm probably, let's go ahead and mark a hole there. And there. Alright, so let's go ahead and with the big bite, let's use a larger. Now I'm going to have to move this over on, let's see, it's going to have to sit off the side of my desk, so let's see if I can get this situated for you so you can see. I don't know if that's any good or not. Okay, so basically I'm going to put the hat in there, and there. Alright, now I'm going to put a couple of eyelets on this so that the paper doesn't tear. Okay, I think to set the eyelets I'm going to change over to my this other bite machine. I forget which one this one's called. They're both by the same company. Alrighty. This one's just handheld, and the other one sits on your desk. So it has a farther reach. The other one has a further reach. So if you're working on something that you have to reach further into your project, that would be the better choice. But this one, it's right on the edge. So there we go. So now we've got the eyelets put in, and I have some elastic string that I'm going to put in. Let's see. Alright, so I've got this elastic. It's a silver elastic, and honestly I think I just bought it at Michael's. I'm going to thread that through the hole and just tie a quick knot. I'll tie a couple of knots to make sure it holds. Cut off the edge, kind of flip that to the inside, and then I'm going to kind of guesstimate on the size. This is for some little kids, so you don't want it to choke them, so let's say about there. And just tie this one the same way. And cut off the extra. And just kind of move the knot to the inside. There we go. Okay, so now we've got the little band to hold the hat on. And the last thing we're going to do is put the fringe on the hat. So I'm going to kind of put that band up in the hat so it sits like that. And starting at the back, I'm going, let's cut off some of this extra stuff. I'm going to cut off there. Okay, so I'm going to add a dot of glue to hold that yarn in place right there. Alright, now with this folded in half, what I'm going to do is start putting glue around the edge of my hat. And I want a pretty generous amount because this is going to have to hold. Let's see. I want this to be sort of down at the bottom. And we're just basically going to glue this all around the bottom of the hat. Okay, so now we have the fringe glued all around the edge, and we've come back again to the back. So I'm basically just going to overlap it a little bit. You don't want to overlap it too much. Just trim it off there, and that might be too much. I don't want to overlap it too much. It'll be too bulky. There we go. Okay, so again, we're just going to add a thing of glue to that yarn to make sure it doesn't come undone, and glue that. Now we need to let this dry. Once it's dried, then we're going to fluff up the bottom and kind of bring the two together so that you don't see a a difference in the line there. So we'll go ahead and let that dry. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and make a pom-pom for the top. So using the remaining piece of fringe, I'm just going to take that and ball it, pull it together tight, and it'll kind of make a ball on top of itself. Like that, and then just tie it together like that and kind of pull out the excess fringe. Kind of hold it with the 2 yarn pieces and kind of finger it a little bit until it looks like a pom-pom. And then go ahead and, let's see, I'm going to tie that one more time to create a knot. There we go. And then I'm just going to cut that yarn off. There, and I've still got some thread hanging, so let's get rid of that. And yarn. And then we're just going to kind of fluff it and we're just going to put a dot of glue inside here, a big dot of glue, and place it on top of the little hat, and we'll let that dry. See that on top of the little hat? We'll just let that dry here, and then we'll fluff it all up when we're done. All right, and there's our cute little party hat. Really cute for our little birthday party. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be making a few more things with the June kit for my birthday party theme. Thanks for watching.